Welcome to the pre-show. I'm Johnny DeRolla. Today is a Tuesday. You don't know who's co-hosting the show. But we got something great, actually. We have a couple of stories that have to do with law, the Supreme Court, and so we decided, you know what, why not bring on an expert? So Adrian Lawrence is going to be joining us in just a little bit. We're going to be starting that full show in about 40 minutes. But thank you to everybody who's already here for the pre-show. I am rapidly getting caffeinated and hopefully ready to go soon. Thank you, by the way, to those of you, a huge percentage of which have already hit the like button. Always much appreciated. Someday, we'll hit that 1,000 likes before we go live. Hopefully before the 2024 election. We'll see. Someday, you'll remember this prediction. But anyway, hello here. Hello, everybody. I'm always wondering when... Do you guys get access to those first few seconds? I don't know. Martin asks if Francesca is going to do pre-shows next week. So Francesca will be hosting the Damage Report from Monday to Thursday. I will be back on Friday. I'm taking 4 days off to hopefully finish my novel. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I'm right up near the climax. We will see if that's possible. I know she will not be doing pre-shows. It's already a lot, her stepping in and hosting the show every day. There's a small chance that I might, but don't. That is a maybe. We will see. I really do need to focus on finishing that book, so we will try to find out. Oh, Michelle has a great question. What happened to Old School John? Yeah, so that's complicated. I thought that I was going... So a couple of weeks ago, I said I would be on Old School, like weeks in the future. And then someone made me think that it was Monday. It was actually supposed to be next week, but the thing is, that's on my day off, so I'm actually going to be a little bit later on than that. I think I'm going to be doing like June 7th or something like that. So apologies for that. Zany Dragon says, quite a few lefties raised money yesterday for Palestine. Vosh is up to 192,000 collected for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. His office was bought not long ago. Yeah, so I saw something about that a little bit earlier on. That's awesome. Mama Bird Dragon says, have you given that puzzle a try yet? I'm gonna be doing it hopefully soon. I'm lining up things to do on my days off, but it's very close by, actually. Thank you. Sell your book on TRT's website. We'll see. I have no idea what's going to end up happening with the book. And Shkibby, it is not time for clocks yet. We have got more than enough time. Zane says, no, we don't get the first 2 to 5 seconds, Dragon Daddy. Well, understand, I paused for at least 5 seconds. I wish it would let me know when it's actually broadcasting. No, I do wait a few seconds, sometimes a lot, but the thing is, so which is worse? Starting a stream and I'm mid-sentence. I'm 5-10 seconds in. Or starting a stream and I'm just staring for a second, for 10 seconds. That would suck. Okay, so we're not quite at 1,000. You know what? But why not do a little bit of news? And then at some point I have a question. Hopefully I'm going to crowdsource a little bit of knowledge from all of you. But okay, so let's see. I came across this amazing story. And look, with these stories, I can never say how many people it actually represents. But understand, I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok. It would consume a lot of my time, and that time is going into Binding of Isaac. So I am taking this knowledge from Travis Getty's Raw Story, but apparently one of the things that is spreading amongst anti-vaxxers on the platform is this theory that they are going to inherit the earth. Why? Well, because everyone who got the vaccine is going to be dead within maximum 3 years. And so that will leave those few remaining people to just live in peace and harmony because they didn't get the vaccine. And it does not appear that that is being described as an apocalyptic future. They seem to think that that's good, as if society could continue when you lose everyone who's been vaccinated. But it is a weird world, man. Like they have constructed a worldview, a fantasy worldview, where rather than their position being a sort of pathetic or cowardly attempt to, continue on as they have, that likely will expose them to the possibility of a terrible disease at some point. In fact, it is the thing that will save them. They will be the chosen few. And By the way, if you're getting rapture sort of feelings, that's what this is effectively. It's the idea that they are self-selecting due to their virtue in being able to see through the lies of people like Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci, and they will inherit everything. Sort of feel like that's not the way that it's going to go. And the thing is, of course, there's not going to be a single one of these accounts that in 3 years, when there's not huge die-offs of the vaccinated, that's going to be like, I really got that wrong. That was a weird thing that I predicted. Yeah, sort of don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, we just passed 1,000. What is the book called? I don't have a set title for it yet, actually. Not one that I like, anyway. Not sure how I'm going to figure that out. HI says, Happy Tuesday, Dragon fam. It's my mom's 70th birthday, and she loves the show. If you could give her a shout-out, her name is Chris. Chris, happy birthday. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate that. Rob Shively says, you know what's worse? Your movie rankings. Oh no, I forgot. So we uploaded yesterday. I did my top 10 for the week. It was my top 10 MCU films. I've got to go look at those comments to see what people think. Everyone, if you are a fan of the MCU, just post in the comments, what would your number one be? And I'll take a look at that. That is one heck of a warped fantasy. Yeah, it is. John Maddock Hall says, I received an email advertising anti-vaxxer club today showing a lovely young woman in a tank top, but you have no tank tops in the store. I also could not get a Dragon Squad tank XXL size. It's a mess. I have the anti-vaxxer shirt. Yeah, I don't know why maybe it's just temporarily out of stock. I'm not sure. I don't know why they would have that. I'm wondering now who the lovely person is that you're referencing there. Okay, there is a hoodie. Oh, well, I don't know what the email is, actually. There's a hoodie. I'm seeing t-shirts. I don't know. Anti-tank. See if anything comes up. I don't know. I apologize. I'm sure that they're doing their best. I'm not much involved in it other than suggesting ideas that generally don't get made. Anyway, Barbara Miller, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate that. Brian Bauer says, are you contractually obligated to wear the merch? No, not at all. I do wear a lot of the merch, although this is like an exclusive. It's not really merch. Most of my closet is TYT shirts at this point. I mean, I guess not contractually obligated, but generally they prefer that if you're going to wear a t-shirt, you wear one of those, that we're not wearing, like, there's issues with wearing other logos and stuff like that. But I like the designs, especially the ones for the Damage Report and Dragon Squad. Okay, I see Ragnarok, Infinity War, both are good. Black Panther, Ragnarok, couple Ragnaroks already. Iron Man. Non-Human Humanist says, that is a challenging hypothesis. Since Bill Gates stayed with all the anti-vaxxers and haters, Bill should have thought it through. Yeah, the Bill Gates stuff has become even more complicated recently. Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, stop joking. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is pretty good. Does Deadpool count? Unfortunately, no. A lot of Ragnaroks, Winter Soldiers, a lot of Ragnaroks, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Doctor Strange 2 might take it, well, we don't know. Maybe Black Widow will be amazing. Thor 3, I think that's Ragnarok. Okay. Let's see. Resin Rogue says roll initiative. I'm actually going to be playing D&D tonight, so I will have to. Lisa Dodson says, Vega Dragon here. Give us a synopsis and we'll give you ideas for the title of the book. I'm not ready to do that yet. I apologize. Thank you for the interest. I'm not ready to do it. We'll see. We'll see. It involves, basically, I've said the premise for the world is, if you imagine something like, basically the simplest form of this is Redwall, but actual fantasy. And I'm not ready necessarily to say what genre of fantasy yet. Depending on the day, I want to move it more in the direction of epic, sometimes sword and sorcery. But it is basically Redwall, but a fantasy world with magic and monsters and all of that. RGL says, Block Dragon here. Thank you as always. You help me stay sane in an insane world. Today's my birthday and I'm 52. Can I get a shout out? You can, RJL. Happy 52nd birthday. They say that 52 is the new whatever I am right now. And depending on who you are, you might well be handling the age better than me. But in any event, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the show. Really do appreciate that. And for so regularly being a part of the pre-show. Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you put your t-shirts in the closet, not the drawer? Yeah, I hang them. It's just easier to, browse through. Different days I want to wear different ones. Kidder Dunn says moderator's a job. It 100% is. Zane says, I love my We Press On hoodie and shirt, Johnny Pie. They're classics. They're classics. Brand said, show stopwatch on camera for first minute. We'll say number. Yeah, but no, but the thing is, I appreciate that idea. I don't believe, and I guess it would only be, we'd have to test, but I don't believe it's a constant. I think it's different every day. I Love Beagle says, happy birthday, RJL518. Well, there's your special shout out. Other people are sending in super chats to shout it out. Athena liked the order of my list. Okay, let's jump into a little bit more news. Oh, but first, Wayne Sugar says, we got the 1K before John arrived. Yay, nominate Sprocket for cameo in John's book. You did not. That's not true. Anyway, oh, here's an injustice. I'm sure that many of you saw this, but since we're talking about books, do you know how much Cuomo got for his last book? $5 million. $3 million in gross income in 2020, and will be paid an additional $2 million over the next 2 years. Now, that is an issue. This is American Crisis, Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. So that is a big issue. And I understand he donated some of it to charity or whatever. I don't so much care about that. So partially it's that he got paid so much for a book about leadership lessons in COVID when we know that he manipulated data, hid data, tons of issues there. So he should not be giving people leadership lessons. Secondly, it's really suspect because that book is not going to earn that much money. I don't mean it's not going to earn it for him. I mean, it is not going to earn enough money to have justified that. And I don't see how any publisher could have believed that it would. And so it is weird. It's suspect that he would be paid so much. That is not what books like that earn in advances. I mean, like if you're Obama, like Michelle Obama's next book will get a big advance. Cuomo ain't Michelle Obama. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it is suspicious. It is very suspicious. Anyway, and by the way, and like a lot of it is gonna, like people are talking about how it received help from the city. Yeah, like he was just one small part of that response. Anyway, I don't like the whole thing. Jessica says, technically, if we die from getting vaccine, doesn't that mean we are raptured and taken to God? Maybe COVID is how the rapture happens. I don't think so. Enoch Sound, congrats on your second vax. Lazy Peon says, just got my first dose of 5G. And the best MCU movies, of course, The Big Lebowski. The Origins of Obadiah Stane. Okay, that's pretty good. But no. Okay, well, how much time do we have? Okay, we have a little bit of time. I got a couple more stories, including the headline story. I do want to ask a question, though. Okay, so this is crowdsourcing. There's over 3,000 of you there. Rob Shively says, furry frontier is the not Candlejack Adventures. It is not a furry thing. Anyway, okay, so I have told you like that I'm setting up a little shed to write in because I need a little bit of space that I can write in. So I want to wire it for electricity. And the permitting process seems like an absolute nightmare. Is it a thing where you can hire an electrician to do it and they take care of the permits and inspections and stuff? Is that a thing? Is that crazy expensive? How exactly does that work? I've never had to deal with any of this stuff, permits or building stuff or anything like that. And where would you find a person like that? People are saying it's a thing. Like someone's saying, no, it's a, no, but specifically, I mean, I understand I can hire them to do it, but that they will take care of the inspections and the whatever, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people are saying yes. Yes, and it can be expensive. Okay, so maybe it's not going to happen. Google electricians. Okay, electrician gets the permits. Okay, well, that's a lot better because I've looked at those forms and I don't think that they're not user-facing forms. They don't make any sense to me. I went all the way to the building permit office and obviously it's not open because of the pandemic. Okay, a lot of people are saying it is. That makes me happier. People are saying to go solar. That's entirely possible, although it also sounds expensive. Doing it yourself can be dangerous. No, I'm definitely not going to do electrical work myself. I did finish my second piece of furniture, though. I built an elevated dog bed nightstand for beside my bed. Outdoor extension cable. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. But that's not, like, a permanent thing. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I will definitely look into it then. Okay, just use candles. I'm gonna burn it down. They'll do the inspection. Solar's actually become more affordable. It's kind of right under a tree. I don't know that that would necessarily work. Well, thank you, everybody. Just use an extension cord. I'm using an extension cord right now, but eventually I want to finish it inside and stuff like that, but I appreciate that. And I will take a picture of the nightstand at some point. Okay, we are running low on time, so we're going to jump into the last two stories. So first of all, I kind of want to file this under, like, good news, I think. So, poll of young workers. This is a new Generation Lab Axios polling. 3/4 of people between 18 and 29 say that vaccination should be required to return to campus or work, and 37% would refuse to come back unless those conditions are in place. And I found that pretty interesting. I was thinking about our workplace. So obviously we have very few people, even now, that work in the studio. Right now, I'm the only person in this entire building. Now, later in the day, of course, Jank and Anna will be here, Bart will be here, Edwin will be here. We're in different rooms and stuff like that, and it's a small number of people, and we're all vaccinated, by the way. I would not want, I mean, I guess it's totally not up to me. I would want a vaccination strongly encouraged policy or whatever I would say, especially for early coming back, for safety. I mean, this is still a thing that's killing more than 500 people every single day. So, what about you for your workplace? Assuming that you haven't already gone back, if they were to announce that they were going to be resuming, would you want vaccination to be required? Leia says, I feel like this shed of yours is going to need a name. Can we name it, please? I vote for the dojo. Well, there's not much room for martial arts in there. Chubtoad says, do we not have an electrician dragon here? I occasionally see messages from people who know carpentry or electrician stuff. Zane says, permitting my bathroom afterwards is $5,000. Just for the permits? The Dragon Den. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are saying the Dragon's Lair. It might be, actually. A lot of people are saying can't trust the honor system. There's always room for martial arts. Not if I'm going to do a jumping spin kick. Ixthar says, obviously John Shed should be named the Dragon's Den. Looks like that's so far leading. Non-Human Humanist says, vaccination only works efficiently if required amount of the people is getting it, otherwise unsafe. Vax requirement, yes. I don't know what we're going to do here. We don't have, there's no like timeline for more people to resume to the studio or anything like that. Use a typewriter. You know, funny that you would say that actually, because I have my typewriter right here actually. I'm going to be doing a little bit of brainstorming for the finale of my story on my typewriter a little bit later on. Because my computer is in the studio, so when I'm out here I don't have it, so I will be using my, well, it would be a typewriter, actually. A little bit later on. It is heavy. It's like my laptop here. It's very big and very heavy. Anyway, okay, I think that we haven't quite reached 2,000 likes. Should we do the last story about Giuliani? I don't know. I don't know. We just need a few more, tiny percentage of everyone that's here to hit the like button. Call it Dragon Farkle, Moondragon says. John, you have legs. I know, I felt a little bit weird about standing up. John confirmed the hipster. It's the most hipster thing about me, I guess. I don't use the typewriter often. I should. Skip the D block. No, that's the hut. It's the D block. Okay, oh my god, we shot past 1,000. So, with that, I suppose we can do the last story. So, here's basically what's going on. Rudy Giuliani, poor Kevin, damn you. Thank you for the super chat, though. Okay, so Rudy Giuliani, we talked earlier, has been effectively legally and financially jettisoned by Donald Trump in his ongoing legal struggles. Tying it to a few weeks ago, there was that raid of his office, and then he did this weird publicity tour where he made himself look even worse and tried to make it about Hunter Biden. They took all this stuff, and Trump is not helping him. So there are other challenges as well. A civil lawsuit from Congressman Eric Swalwell, actually. I would prefer if Eric Swalwell was not involved in this, but he is. About Giuliani's involvement in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, because you might forget this, but Rudy Giuliani spoke at the event before they headed to the Capitol and attacked it. And in fact, you might remember we did a video about one of the things that Giuliani said. He told the crowd, quote, "If we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So let's have trial by combat." Okay, so first of all, the prospect that they could be made fools of is one that he sort of glosses over pretty lightly. He has 100% been made a fool of. He literally got Razzies for his appearance in Borat, but so far that doesn't seem to be bothering him. And how exactly would we know? When would you admit this? There's never a timeline actually let out. So, but look, he said that. Let's have trial by combat. And then that crowd of people went to the Capitol and tried to break everything down and try to murder people. Okay. Now, obviously, he doesn't need no trouble over that. So they put out a statement responding to the lawsuit. And here's what they say. "No reasonable reader or listener would have perceived Giuliani's speech as an instruction to march to the Capitol, violently breach the perimeter and enter the Capitol building, and then violently terrorize Congress into not engaging in the electoral certification." It's really interesting. They really laid out what the crowd did. Normally they try to deny it. "Nor would anyone perceive the trial by combat reference as a call to arms to invade the Capitol. The statement is clearly hyperbolic and not literal, and even if it were to be perceived literally," well, let's pause right there. So, was it hyperbolic? Yes. But was he giving them the red meat that they wanted? Yes. He didn't want a trial by combat, and I don't believe that Giuliani necessarily wanted violence, but he accurately read that that crowd wanted violent rhetoric. They wanted to hear about blood and violence and all of that stuff. And he gave it to them. And that's totally that's my speculation, that's my interpretation. Feel free to disagree if you want, but I think it's pretty clear. He knew what that crowd was. To use hyperbole of that particular form, I think betrays that he knew who the crowd was, that all of them knew who the crowd was. Anyway, even if it were to be perceived literally, Giuliani is clearly referring to an event in the future after evidence of alleged election fraud is collected. No one could... That's a very weird hypothetical that, well, once we find out about the bag of ballots they found, well, then we can have the trial by combat. No one could reasonably perceive the trial by combat reference as one inciting the listeners to an immediate violent attack on the Capitol, which could have nothing to do with Giuliani's allegorical trial by combat over evidence of fraud in the election. What I would have put in is, Giuliani really, by the way, should have used different language, and he wishes that he had, especially because it turned out in hindsight, though he could have never known, that the crowd was, in fact, bloodthirsty and wanted to murder politicians. There's, as far as I can tell, there's no references to anything like that. And so, but he understood what he was saying. All of them did. Trump told them to march there. He told them it was the biggest crime of the century. I think that Giuliani is going to be fine. I think that it's one comment. They're going to say that it's within, it's free speech or whatever. Although, inciting a riot, a crowd to do something is one of the areas where generally the First Amendment is not a perfect protection. But I think that he's going to be okay. But understand, referencing the last story that we talked about, Giuliani, he is going to have to be okay on his own because he's probably not going to receive a lot of help from Donald Trump, especially in this area. The stuff with the storming of the office and getting the records and everything, Trump getting involved in that could defend himself. In this, I don't think Trump wants to be involved in this literally at all. Okay, really fast. Let's see. Ray Turner says, "I've been away from TDR-TYT for weeks thanks to a bad bout of bronchitis." Jeez. So I'm really behind on things. What I need to know is what we can call you now. Is it still Dragon Daddy or Instagram DJ Dragon? You can choose, Ray Turner. By the way, I got a copy of that shirt in the mail. That is the weirdest shirt we've ever put out. By the way, I love that we got that shirt, but not the pie shirt. Damn it. General contractor sound expensive. Jay Fergie says, Skater Dragon humbly submits Dragon Sanctorum. That's not bad. Maybe something with Sanctorum. Scott Kidwell says, can I be Sparky Dragon? You know that you can. Of course you can. Oh, God. I'm seeing the clocks coming in. Oh, it's 9:45, and there's Sophie, of course. I almost got out before Sophie got in the comments, but unfortunately not. Maybe another day. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for being here. Full show is starting. Adrian Lawrence is going to be joining me. It's going to be awesome. By the way, a little bit later on, Nellifer Hedayat is going to be joining us once again to talk via Skype. So lots coming up. Feel free to stay here. You can go to twitch.tv/TYT if you prefer, but I will see you soon.